And you were at my wedding, I was broken, you were drunk. It's VGC, the video game podcast, episode 139, with me, Jordan Midler, and Chris Scullion. This week, Skate, Sonic, and EAFC. But first, how's it going, Chris? How are you?
Oh, well, I finally got the lyric this time.
Mm-hmm.
A wee bit of Haley Williams.
Yes, that new album is excellent.
I've just heard that one song, but it's rare that I understand a modern song lyric of yours, so I'm quite happy with that.
Well, the alternative was going to be, would you like the house tour? I can take you to the first, second, third floor, which is obviously...
See, that's my least favourite song. I think it's too... I mean, I'm not a man who's against crass lyrics.
Too blue?
But, a bit of blue.
Blue for the dads.
I mean, I think it's too obvious.
Yeah.
It feels like a double entendre piece written by a 17-year-old who's just figured out that backdoor means your arse.
Let's say 18-year-old for the sake of the legals.
Sure. I mean, but she's older than that, though.
Oh yeah, she's like mid. She's been kicking a ball for a long time. It's just she used to put out really shit music, and then she had a bit of a rebrand with that last one, and now she's taking you to the first, second, third floor.
I think I said this before, but I only realised like a month or two ago that she was on the Disney Channel.
Yep. Ghetto Meets World.
Which explains the kind of, because they obviously, when they go through that Disney Channel machine, clearly that's how they all get their confidence, their ridiculous levels of confidence. Because you look at Rodrigo and all, and all of them, they all seem to come out like with absolutely no, or at least giving the impression that nothing touches them. But
Rodrigo, the former lead striker, he had a bit of pace about him.
That's the one, yeah.
Yeah, my unearned confidence came in as youth theatre. If you put kids in youth theatre at a certain very formative time, they'll either sink or swim. They'll either be like, I'm never doing this again, or I need attention to live. And that very much fall into the second category. Despite being a big pop girly, I'm not a huge fan of Sabrina Carpenter. It's just I've got other irons in the fire. I'm more I'd take a Billie Eilish over her any day. I'd take a Rodrigo over her. Or obviously I'd take a Chapo, but Chapo's like in a different stratosphere. She's like the modern Lady Gaga. Yeah,
I don't often dabble with modern stuff, to be honest. I'm given my old man status, I'm very much an 80s man. That's my 80s and 90s are my jam. So when I do dabble, like I literally just saw BBC headlines of her saying, "This album's outrageous, watch yourself." So I thought, is that right? And listening to it, it's like, it's fine.
Yeah.
Like I worry about when my kid gets old enough to start listening to this stuff. Like, it's a different world.
Oh, are you just being the parent that you thought was lame though? Like,
but in my day, like when I was listening to music, it wasn't songs about ramming up your shiter. It was like songs about like.
Sorry, like, what do you think? Relax, don't do it when you want to come to it.
I know, but I wasn't listening to Frankie Goes to Hollywood with my child. It was Wakefield Saturday Night. It was Tattoo. All the things you said was about as outrageous as it got. I know the video, but not the lyrics. But the lyrics, these new lyrics.
All the things you said, all the things you said, ram it up my shiter. Yeah, tears down around my thighs. That's a bit. That's a bit rough, yeah.
That's a bit rough, hen.
You got to quote Bam Margera, you've got to take the rough with the gruff. Like there's so many songs that if you went back in our youth and actually did a cinema sins to, you would realise it's all music's about pumping at the end of the day. As is this podcast. Any drinks this week? I'm just rocking since it's been in the UK, the Ultra Fantasy Ruby Red has been a regular tipple for me.
No, I've been sensitive this week health wise, so I've been relying on the Charge, as does fake Red Bull, which is basically just Red Bull but at a discount price. So it's fine. In what sense is Charge more sensitive to your health than a Monster? I mean, it's probably not. It just is less. It's smaller for a start, less sugar in it. It's just kind of a bit more delicate, but still probably not great for you.
Can we get a backup date?
A backup date?
Are you still crippled from last week?
Oh, but I thought you said a backup date.
Oh, yeah, can we get a backup date, please?
I can get a date where you're going to drink something else. My bag's okay now. It comes and goes. Like certainly not. I can move around freely, which is always a bonus. But yeah, I don't know what that was. It was something just like absolutely crippled my back for like a week or two, and now I'm kind of okay again.
Those are the worst because it's like hee-haw you can do. You start to realise that the old spine, quite important to locomotion, to be moving about. Yeah. You certainly don't want to have anything done to that.
But that's all good.
I've had a hell of an exciting week. So yesterday, it was Thursday, as it often is before Friday, and I ordered a Greggs because I play football on a Thursday night, and if I don't order a Greggs, I will skip lunch and then feel terrible when I try to play football. Worse than usual when I try to play football. So order this Just Eat. The guy arrives I can see him on the wee map, and as I'm walking down the stairs to meet him at the door so that the dogs don't go crazy, I hear a massive boom. Oh, what was that? Massive boom outside, and I'm like, oh well, there's roadworks everywhere, which I'll get to, by the way. Bloody roadworks in Foxbar. Massive boom. Open the door, and the guy goes, my tires just exploded on your curb. And I'm like, right, my code is 86. Can you just give me my food? And I was like, he was like, is there any tire shops around here? And I live out in the sticks. I was like, no, really. There's a wee Morrison's Daily. I didn't say this. But I was like, oh no, the closest one is like in Paisley. It's like 10 minutes drive away. And he's like, oh, it's really exploded. I can't really drive on it. And he's looking at me as if I'm going to go, oh, give me a minute, mate. I've got a tire like in my arsehole here. Let me just go and peel it out for you, and we'll get that changed. Do you want me to get you my jack as well? I can't. He's busy. But the thing was, like, I was like, okay, this is awkward. Not only because this guy has delivered me his food. His wife was in the car, sitting there. Clearly, she just goes about with him while he's delivering. Obviously, if his tire explodes, that's a large part of his business humped, like, immediately. He presumably had other orders in that car.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, right, okay. So I take my food to go and get back to my work. Because I've got a job to do. There's a million things going on. And then about 4 hours later, I go to take the dogs out. It's still there. Now, multiple of his pals have appeared all to just stare at this tire. None of them seemingly having a spare tire. And I'm like, right, just avoid that. Don't worry about it. Obviously, my dog absolutely keys the game away, starts barking at them. So I'm like, oh, fuck. Don't draw attention to us. Don't get involved. And so they look at me and I just go, oh, how are you getting on? And he goes, still burst. And I'm like, yeah, I bet it is.
Man.
Eventually.
He's still there to this day?
Yeah, actually, he just lives there now. Eventually, he got his tire changed, and he was like, oh, pure happy about it. And I was getting something out of the car, and he went, oh, finally tire changed. And he went, did you enjoy your food? And I didn't have the heart to tell him that it was only all right. I was like, yeah, it's fine. I've got bigger problems with the Greggs company, but those aren't directly your issue today. So
I do feel for the person after you whose korma was 7 hours late.
Sorry, mate, I'm stuck in some random wee street in the outskirts of Paisley with a tyre that has just exploded off the side of a curb. This comes at the same time as notices went up all across the street being like, you cannot park here, we're resurfacing tomorrow, and if your car's here, it's getting shoved into the sea. And I'm like,
so you cannot park here, our curbs are literally made of razor blades.
If you touch one of the curbs, your tire will just burst instantly. Yeah, that's
got
the
an
worst.
email confirming I've got a order from your Coca-Cola.
Oh, nice.
Not an advert, just.
I wish they could give us some real money.
So I've ordered. I've got a 3-pack. I've got a triple order turning up here. I've got my usual supply of Monster, the Doctor, the best Monster. A cheeky 24-pack of lime Coke.
Oh,
the full whack.
You put the lime in the Coke and then you shake it all up, famously.
Partly so, but then you have to tap it so it doesn't fizz up. And also pear Fanta, which is like apparently a new thing.
Pear to me
Fanta
doesn't seem like a strong enough. Like, I like a pear. I will eat a pear, but it doesn't feel like it's a strong enough taste to make a juice out of, you know?
But I've been reading reviews. I do my research.
Oh, good.
Before I commit to a pear Fanta. And the reviews apparently seem to say there's a hint of lemon there as well. So I'm cautiously optimistic. I mean, it's a 24-pack, so I better like it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'll be choking down the next 23 with bitter remorse, but we'll see.
What is the what is the meta out there? What does the industry look like out there on the? Obviously, we are the #1 energy drink review podcast. Fuck you, Gersman. But what is the soft drink game like?
I'm not. It's pretty weak. Like I think this was from like a Reddit thread. I found the pair Fanta reviews. There doesn't appear to be from my limited research, I can't say exactly that I've done a deep dive, but it doesn't appear to be a large. There doesn't appear to be a large scale drinks review website out there. I feel it's a gap in the market that should be investigated.
Well, if you want to turn VGC into the world's largest scale drink/video game review website, not that it's not already, you can support us on patreon.com/video games chronicle, like our wonderful season ticket holders did, including I Mark, Bill Bob Saggins, Lee Jackson, SC Ginger, Silas DeVagostine, Matthew Tate, Justin Keeling, Vicious, Moroccan Lamb, Tanner Santos, Second Toto, Shea Dougal, Matt Huggins, Marmus Prime, Ryan Cabain, Sam Bike, Hugh Overend, Ginger Jota, Mark Edmonds, and James Hughes. Today, Friday, the 19th, is your very final last day to give me your address if you are eligible for a pin. You'll have had 2 messages on Patreon about this. Fill out that form. If you don't by the end of today, it's going to be a nightmare trying to get you your pin. So just do it. Don't give me a headache. This head can't take it. I'm much like a Psyduck in the sense that when I get a headache, I unleash psychic power, and you know who's getting it? Chris Scullion. So please check your Patreon messages. Check the Discord. If you're not on the Discord already, join it. You don't need to be a Patreon member to join our Discord. It's good fun over there.
If anyone who doesn't claim their pins, the next delivery driver that comes to Jordan's house, those pins are going straight on those tires.
I'm just going to,
like last time,
I'm going to leave them out like caltrops. You don't hear about caltrops much these days. I feel like those were a staple of car combat games. You were always firing out caltrops, but not so much.
Caltrops are things you put on the floor with the nails on them.
Yeah, like I can imagine maybe Catwoman throws out caltrops. They're like little spiky metal, and they've also maybe got balls as well. So you slip and then you stab yourself with the caltrops. When's the last time you thought about cow? Well, not the word caltrop hasn't been said in this podcast in 139 episodes.
I don't even think I knew the name caltrops. I'm thinking of a different thing. I'm thinking of the big strip that they throw on the floor on the road when a car's coming at speed, causing the car to skid and then crash into pedestrians.
Yeah, that's the police for you. Wow. We have a lot of news and a lot of games to talk about, so I'm glad it's taken us 15 minutes to get there. Story number 1. More info on the yet unannounced Assassin's Creed Black Flag remake has reportedly surfaced, the worst kept secret in the world, according to French publication Jeux Vidéo Magazine, which has posted information about Ubisoft games in the past. I wonder what the connection is there. Here is some news about the Black Flag remake. Apparently it's coming out in 2026 around March time. It's worked on by Ubisoft Singapore, who you may remember, Chris, from the hit game of the year, Skull and Bones. They're working on it, shock horror. And that has also been worked on by Ubisoft Belgrade. Here's the thing that's getting people's panties in a twist. Jeux Vidéo reports that parts of the present day sections from the original game are being removed and replaced with more pirate era content, resulting in a game that will still be longer than the original. According to these reports, 4 hours of extra content has been added. We'll get to the next part after this, but what do you think about removing the modern day stuff? Because I can't remember where we were in the timeline here, but is this the one where you're playing as a Ubisoft employee? Like, I know there's one where you're like going into the Animus as a Ubisoft employee to make new Assassin's Creed games, but that might be further forward in the timeline.
I think that's further forward. I'm admittedly not the world's most read Assassin's Creed player. I've only played a few of them because just the way these releases have worked, either I've not reviewed them or I've been working on single format publications when most of them came out. So I've played one, enjoyed it. I was about to start 2 at some point. It's in the backlog. But the only other one I did play through to completion was Black Flag, which I loved. And I don't remember anything about Ubisoft employees in it. I do remember the modern day stuff being shite. So I know there'll be Assassin's Creed diehards who are obsessed with the lore who'll be devastated at the news that the present day stuff might be getting removed. But as someone personally who didn't really like those bits and just wants to be a pirate, I'm kind of happy that if it's making way for more pirate content. And again, obviously none of this is confirmed, but it seems reasonably.
Oh
like
yeah,
it's a worst kept secret. We all know it. We all know it's coming. It's just a case of what it's going to be like. But I'm up for it if that's the case.
It seems that in the present day you play as an Abstergo employee. Abstergo is obviously the company that the baddies, I think, because obviously in Assassin's Creed 3, Big Desmond Miles, spoilers for Assassin's Creed 3, Desmond Miles gets ganked, it gets wetted, so he's out of there. I loved the modern day stuff in the first 3 Assassin's Creed because I thought this is because I was fucking 12 years old, so I was like, this conspiracy is amazing, it's like it's the most deep thing ever. And it always felt to me, and I've never had this confirmed, and I'd like to pin someone down at Ubisoft, and then I'd like to ask them this question. Was the plan to lead the modern day stuff into Watch Dogs? Like, because that felt like the most natural conclusion ever, where that, like, Desmond, after the 3 Assassin's Creed games, Assassin's Creed keeps going with different people, but Desmond becomes Aiden Miles, the main character from the first Watch Dogs game. He moves to Chicago, moves to Chi-Town. But yeah,
that would have been good. That would have made sense. But
the modern day stuff is a weird. I always felt like it was a weird holdover because I think in some ways it felt like they were like, okay, the Animus, as Kevin McDonald says, it's like the best video game storytelling trope in history because you can just sit down and be in any point in history, whatever. Like, so it felt like they needed to keep that through line. But yeah, I don't feel too heartbroken about this, especially because if they're making the remake of 4 just kind of out of nowhere. It's not like they've made remakes of 1, 2, or 3 or whatever. I think they will make a remake of 1 because it's due, and it's also with the 20th anniversary of 1 in 2 years, so I think they'll probably do a remake of that as well. But
I played one a year or 2 ago just to say let's finally start this series properly, and I'll get there pre-death hopefully. Like I really enjoyed 1. Like I know that when you look at the list, and I've got, obviously that's with me not having played any of the others, so I've got nothing to compare it to, so I'd imagine it gets better.
Yeah.
But I get the complaints that it's quite repetitive and you're doing the same stuff over and over again, but I don't know if looking at it through a modern lens where there's too much shite in games now, to go back to a more simplistic game is actually a nice wee palette cleanser. But I had a good time with it.
It's pretty quaint now. Like, it's pretty unrecognizable from the modern games, apart from that you're still wearing the same hood and you're still jumping into hay bales and going squirrel. But yeah, I talk about it all the time how 1 to me was this mythical, magical game that they would lie about in official PlayStation magazine and talk about it like it was the second coming. And then by the time you get to 2 and 3, it's closer to what that original game, like, much like Watch Dogs to Watch Dogs 2. And there's a reason that every hack reviewer like me refers to a much improved sequel as the Assassin's Creed 2 of this series, which is a terrible trope, but it's annoying that it's very effective because it conveys exactly what you mean. It's a game with huge potential that actually sees it through in the second game. But furthermore in this story, it says that the remake will feature the RPG elements like the modern Assassin's Creed titles in terms of inventory and loot system, as well as combat. Now, this is interesting to me because the original Assassin's Creed 4 had the very choreographed combat of the first couple of Assassin's Creed games, where you're basically waiting for them to attack, do a parry, ///, whereas modern Assassin's Creed titles are like Witcher lights, where you're just bashing away at people, and there is parrying and stuff like that, but it's a very different experience. If they're changing the combat and they're giving it RPG mechanics and they're taking away the modern day stuff, it's a pretty significant change for a remake. It's like a reimagining nearly. Let's not bring this up. But you know what I mean? It's pretty different.
Yeah. The court is closed.
Yeah, the court is closed.
It does seem, I think the report says it's not going to be a full-on Resi 2 effort, but it's also not just going to be an upscale remaster. It's going to sit somewhere in the middle where it's clearly still Black Flag. And I'm assuming they might use, I don't know if they will use like voice assets and stuff, because your man who played Edward was kind of done.
So the dummy,
I know, he was like so it's quite possible to have new audio as well, but so yeah, it sounds like it's going to be in the middle somewhere, but leaning more towards remake than remaster. But I'm curious to see. I'm like I say, I love Black Flag, so
hell of a game, hell of a console launch title. That game reminds me of the launch of the PS4 Xbox One, because that was like one of the only big kind of hitters they had at the time.
Yeah. I'm also excited about, they're saying that the wee tiny islands are going to have more in them as well, because there comes a point that's one of the few Ubisoft games I've played to full 100% completion, but a lot of that involves sailing around the map, finding all the tiny wee islands and like visiting those as well. And most of those had like one treasure chest on them, or two treasure chests and nothing else. And by all accounts, they're apparently adding new missions to some of those wee islands, so there's actually more to do, rather than it just becoming like a methodical, go to this one, get the chest, go to this one, get the chest. Apparently more stuff's going to be there, so that'll be good if so.
As long as it doesn't become like Odyssey, where you open the map and you pull it out and you're still going 200 hours later, because you're like, right, we've actually got a topographical map of the entire universe here, and there's 300,000 islands. As I've said many times, there are islands in that game that people that worked on that game have never seen, that are they've just been generated randomly by the Abstergo Corp. And I'm sure there's wonders beyond measure on those islands, but they're completely unfounded. The next thing for me is, so if they're going to do this one next, I presume the next main Assassin's Creed is Hexe, the kind of horror one that they've been teasing. That could be kind of cool if that's like if that's a pretty big departure. Shadows was really good. Although Shadows coming out in a weird year alongside Yote, which I can't talk about, but you know what I mean. It's two samurai games in like the same 6-month period.
But this horror one, what does it have a setting, like a rumored setting, or is it just
so
you can't just go to like ancient Egypt, ancient like the pirate times, or horror, set in the days of horror,
set in the far-flung
like
past of horror. I think that's the idea. The Assassin's Creed A is like broken branches, so it's kind of
Blair Witch, man.
Yeah, it's Wicker Man, Blair Witch, spooky kind of. That's the kind of idea. So I think that's potentially what they're going for, but it's hard to know. There's not really spoke about it, but I think that'll probably be next. But that'll be a long time in the future.
That'd be quite awkward when you dive off a building and land in a haystack, and then somebody sets it on fire because they think you're a witch.
Dances around it. The next on the list, story number 2. That claim is startling. Tencent fires back at Sony lawsuit accusing it of cloning Horizon with light of Motiram. Tencent has, you may remember this. You remember that game that really looked like Horizon? Well, Tencent says, no, it doesn't. Sony previously accused it of being a slavish clone of the Horizon series. In July, Sony filed a lawsuit in California federal court alleging copyright and trademark infringement and claiming that Light of Motiram is so close to Horizon Zero Dawn and Horizon Forbidden West that players could be confused, thinking it's part of the same series. Tencent has now responded, calling the claims startling and accusing Sony of trying to monopolize a part of popular culture when, in Tencent's view, Horizon wasn't particularly original in the first place. This has been reported by The Game Post, saying that Sony failed to acknowledge other games featuring similar concepts. Quote, Sony's complaint tellingly ignores these facts, it claims. Quote, instead it tries to transform ubiquitous genre ingredients into proprietary assets by suing over an unreleased project that merely employs the same time-honored tropes embraced by scores of other games released both before and after Horizon. Okay, Chris, give me a yes or no if you think this is applicable. Enslaved?
Yes.
The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild?
No.
Far Cry Primal?
No.
Far Cry New Dawn?
No.
Outer Wilds?
No.
Biomutant?
No.
And many more?
No.
Sony seeks an impermissible monopoly on genre conventions. The company claims Sony's lawsuit is not aimed at fighting off piracy, plagiarism, or any genuine threat to IP, but is instead an improper attempt to fence off well-trodden pop culture. Chris, come on now.
Cheeky bastards. Like when this first came out, you saw the two images side by side and you're like, mate, that's Horizon.
Yeah.
And obviously Sony's gone, mate, went to a court and went, court, mate, that's Horizon. And they've come out and says, what? Are you trying to lay claim to open world games like Breath of the Wild? No, mate.
I'm not so sure. Are you trying to say that we can't put a game out on the PlayStation?
Are you trying to say we're like Outer Wilds? No. Like literally the only one they've got they can lay claim to, I think, is Enslaved, because, as they pointed out, that there was apparently a documentary a while back where the art director was worried that it was going to look too close to Enslaved. So allegedly they shelved it for a bit and then brought it back later and didn't change much. So Enslaved is literally the only thing they can point at and say it looks a wee bit like that still. Therefore, it's not truly original. But this thing's a lot closer to Horizon than it is to Enslaved. It's literally a woman with red hair fighting robot animals.
Yeah.
Although I noticed when you go on the Steam page now, woman with red hair is nowhere to be seen. Like they're trying to bury that.
Now women with blue hair because she's woke.
Exactly, that's how it works. But yeah, it's pretty cheeky. It's pretty obvious what was going on.
Do they just have to do this? Do they just have to? They can't just lay down and be like, "Oh no, you're right. Let's bin this off."
I mean, they've got the money. It's like it's Tencent, so if it was any other company, they'd be like, but Tencent's got the money where they can go, do you know something? We're going to chuck money at this and hope it fixes it.
Yeah. What a laugh. The Light of Motoram saga. It's one of those things where you don't want to get into the territory of Sony can just sue anyone that does like a robot animal game, but when they're positioning characters in such a way where if you squint even slightly, it looks like Horizon promo art, like that's a problem. Like you could advertise it in a way that doesn't just look like Horizon. Here we go.
This is just throwing a wee bit of petrol in the fire here. Right?
Petrol, everybody get ready.
I find it interesting that when Nintendo has a go at Pal World,
here we go,
everyone's like, come on, leave them alone. When Sony has a go at Tencent, everyone's like, fucking get them.
Yeah.
I don't see a massive difference here between the two situations. This Light of Motoram is clearly a different game, but it looks very similar to Horizon. I think you could argue something similar like that with Power World, but for some reason that seems to have been given the impression that's the big man versus the little guy story. I think I don't know if it's because Tencent's a big company. The perception changes here, but I don't know. I'm just saying.
I think there was also a lot of mud in the water around the Power World stuff. Remember that week when it came out and people were like, they have actually just traced assets from Pokemon here, like that. The first impression is a lot of the problem. It's a lot like how people 10 years after the Xbox One came out were like, oh, you can't play used games on that, you need to be always online. It's the first thing you hear from most people is that's the thing that sticks with them. So I can see, I do get that. Personally, I think every company should sue each other and just kind of get it over with, get the arms race done.
Yeah, I think so. Although interestingly, if I could be very Countdown Dictionary Corner here, I just fired Light of Motoram through an anagram machine, and it comes back with algorithm motif. So make of that what you will. Private Eye.
Okay, it's now time for the numbers game. Chris, it's you to pick.
One for the top, Carol.
Okay.
And any five. Okay. You decide, pal.
We have 25, and then we've got 3, 6, 5, 10. That's 25, 3, 6, 5, 2, 10. 25. For those playing along at home, it's 25, 3, 6, 5, 2, 10.
Well,
and your number is
474.
474.
Well, obviously you do your 10 times 5 to get 50.
Mm-hmm.
Your 25 times 50.
Okay.
To get something needlessly large.
Okay, we're on.
Divide that by your 3.
Okay.
Divide that by your 6.
Divide that by your 3. Divide that by your 6. And you are Is that your final answer?
Close enough.
Okay, you are 410 away. So close. Anyone else at home got that any closer? Do let us know. I would probably go. You do. Oh, I've already lost it. I've lost the plot. I didn't really do maths. I stopped doing maths after like third year because I was such a terror in school. So.
You're trying to find 20, so you can multiply your 25 by it to get 500, I believe.
Okay, we're back to the word game. Chris, you to pick.
Wait a minute, 25 times. Yeah, 20. Yeah, that's doable actually.
Yeah,
I'm not going to bore
Unfortunately, the clock's already gone, so it's time for the word game, Chris.
Exactly. Vowel.
E.
Done.
Get a pen out, everybody. If you're playing along at home, this is what a slow news week does to us. I know we've got 3 massive games to talk about. We're playing countdown here. Consonant P.
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 Consonant
H. H.
H. Vowel.
I. I.
Consonant
G.
Consonant
M.
Vowel.
E.
Consonant
Q.
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 Is that it? 8 letters or is there 9?
No, you've got 1 to go.
Consonant
H. That's E P H I G M E Q. H for those playing along at home. We'll see what you can get here. We've got the problem with Googling countdown clock is that people just put up actual countdown clocks.
I was hoping for an L because I could have given you phlegm.
Yeah, as soon as I saw PH, I thought phlegm was on it. But
yeah, that's I've got a 3.
A 3. Let's go to the board here. A 3.
Hip.
Could we do any better? Apparently, the highest you could get is 6, so it's a difficult board here. Henpai. H-E-M.
Henpai.
P-I-E. Henpai. Maybe pronounced Hempy. Who can say?
Henpai, did you say?
Henpai. H-E-M. P-I-E. It's some type of... You
need to prove your ID now before you can see those on websites.
Yeah, it's all right. Just scan the face of Batista and you'll be okay. When we come back, we'll play more countdown. No, we won't. We'll be talking about Skate, Sonic, Kart Racer, and a little tease of what we've got to come this weekend in the world of FC. We'll see you in a minute. And we are back. Let's start. I'm throwing this. I'm throwing this run sheet to the wind. We'll start off. Oh no, yeah, this is what I wanted to start off with, Chris. Sonic Kart Racing, which I believe is called Sonic CrossWorlds.
Sonic Kart Racing, that's it.
Sonic Splash Zone. What's this game called? Tell me about. This is the game that you called the game of the show, 2025 SGF.
Yes, I think a long time listeners will remember I was roundly mocked for saying that Sonic Racing CrossWorlds, which I still maintain should be called Sonic Racing Crossroads because that kind of makes more sense. Was my favourite game of Summer Game Fest. Many a joke and a jape was had at such a claim, but now I see that the fine folks at Metacritic have rounded up all the scores and it appears to be sitting pretty on an 83.
Needless to say, Chris, you had the last laugh.
Absolutely. So you can all get it wrapped firmly around you because I was correct all along. Always trust your man Scullion to deliver the goods. It's really good. It's especially now that Sega have been playing on this with they kind of came up with an old school advert like earlier this week that was like the 90s ones. They're playing on the fact that Mario Kart World has gone open world.
Oh yeah, open world.
Well, that as well. And therefore it's kind of opened the door to like the more traditional karting games to kind of fight amongst themselves to see who's the best normal karting game. And I think it's this. This is the best one. It's the handling's really good. It's like an arcade. The team that make their Initial D arcade racing games, some of them have come in to help with the handling. There's it's got that kind of portal mechanic where you can go to different worlds mid race, which is quite a good laugh. There's just loads of stuff to unlock. There's loads of fun patter in it and all. There's loads of Easter eggs for the fans.
I hear there's a terrible song.
It's maybe the worst thing committed to vinyl.
Oh, okay.
If there is indeed a vinyl of it. It's your man from Busted.
James Bourne.
And yeah, it's bad. I mean, there's an instrumental version. This theme plays throughout the whole game. Like it's stuck in my head forever, like constantly. That my wife's humming it, the daughter's humming it because it constantly plays, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with a wee earworm. Just ask RFK Jr. But it's the opening titles have vocals from the Bourne Supremacy, and it includes like the lyrics are the worst lyrics. They actually had the gall to put up a lyrics video on YouTube.
What's the name of the song?
It's called, well, I don't know, but if I put in Sonic Racing CrossWorlds theme lyrics, it's called Cross the Worlds.
Cross the Worlds Ost main theme by your man James Bourne. James Bourne, who you've been roundly taking the piss out of this week, had to pull out of the Busted versus McFly tour because he's no well. So I hope you feel good about that.
Because they all heard this tune and went, mate, you've got to hand in your music badge and gun. We've got such lyrics as "Here we go, time to blow. Here we go, fast like whoa."
Fast like whoa.
Fast like whoa.
We've also got lyrics such as "Traveling so fast, is this the future or the past? No stopping anyone. Watch me grab the golden ring now. Zooming past them, I got wings. Wow."
The best bit is when you get to the second verse, because the second verse isn't in the intro, but it's in the closing credits. And by the second verse, they're clearly just reading for the manual because they've run out of things to say. And you've literally got lyrics like, "With a stroke of luck, you might become a monster truck. So hit that power up. Monster truck, say what's up."
Did you start reading from the EULA?
I just started.
How do you think this has gone down in the Sonic community? Because I'm reading the.
Oh, they love it.
Of course they do. They're idiots. Hero the Hedgehog 999 on YouTube says, "This song has grown on me. If I have to be honest, it's cheesy, but it works. It's crazy how far this franchise has come in the last. Jesus Christ! I've just clicked read more, and it's turned into a full 90-page essay." Despite all the fumbles over the year, Sonic got the biggest comeback for a video game franchise I've seen. Now look where we are. Oh, it's turned into a rally here. To the point where we are all extremely hyped for CrossWorlds. I'm glad to be part of this franchise. I can't wait to see what's next for the franchise following the 35th anniversary next year. To new horizons we go.
Despite all the fumbles over the years. Oh, you fumble with yourself every time they announce a new Sonic game, son.
Especially if Amy Rose is in it.
But to be fair, it's a good game. The music is awful, but I mean, this is controversial. This is going to get the Sonic fans' chins wagging, but Sonic music has always been terrible. Like, but like in an endearing way. Like, there's a lot.
What's that stupid band that are always just begging to play that song? Crush
40.
Yeah, that song has. Here's the thing, they play that song, they go boom, 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 and I'm like, okay, I'm with you. They go, rolling around at the speed of sound. That's it. I don't need to hear any more of it. You're fine at that point. Don't care anymore. Do that, get off the stage. Like, just go away. Did they do the one that's, I don't know what game it's from, but it goes, Sonic Heroes. I think it's from Sonic Heroes.
Probably from Sonic Heroes.
That's a really good.
What's that song that goes Sonic Mania Plus?
Sonic CrossWorlds.
There's a song from a Sonic game, I can't remember what it is, but it goes Sonic the Hedgehog 3. But we'll never know if but no, the music's always been awful, and but always remains with you. Like,
it's like an infectious disease.
If I was in the car and my pal was in, like, any random pal was in the car with me, and I put on Spotify, let's put on the Sonic Adventure soundtrack, and Tails' theme comes on, like, I want to fly high, and I'm like, oh yes, and he'd be like, he'd just literally open the car door as it was driving and roll out
while you're going at 300 miles an hour up the M8.
Exactly. So it's catchy, but it's awful. So in that sense, it fits, because it's really bad lyrics and sung slightly out of tune, which I don't believe is James's fault. I think it's maybe just the way it's been mixed.
The thing is, I understand the musical motifs here because famously I'm a Pokemon man. I'm made of Pokemon, and the To Be a Master soundtrack has similar nonsense, like the song Viridian City. And here's the lyrics you're going, we've built a team and we've been training all day long. We're on the road and getting stronger. Now here's the plan. We're going to head down to the forest. Time to collect some Pokemon. We keep on trying and then we try some more. Stay together and find a place worth fighting for. Now, read out, devoid of context, terrible. However, when that song was being played as everyone was walking into the hall at the Pokemon World Championships, was I crying? Certainly was. So it's all about the context. So I understand these Sonic people. I may jest, I may jibe, I may shamon at them, but it's two sides of the same coin.
If Celtic ever get Nottingham Forest in a cup game,
here we go.
You could read those lyrics all the way down to the word forest, and those are completely accurate.
Yeah, I just need some like fiddle and some penny whistles and kind of get the wolf tones to cover it, and we're rocking and rolling.
Job done.
So the game's good.
I really enjoy it. It's obviously there's lots of DLC. That's my only worry about it, is how long they're going to keep players' interest for. They're promising a new free Sega character every month for the next year.
Who's on your dream list?
Hatsune Miiku's in it at the start. Your man from Persona, your man from Like a Dragon are on it. Apparently Knights is on the back of the box, so that kind of gives that one away. I want Alex Kidd in there.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, I'm taking a star off it retrospectively. My worry is that when I put together a list, you're instantly going to get the regulars are going to tick it off. You're going to get your monkey ball prick.
Aye.
Again. Aye. So I might as well. No, more like.
Do you know that Ozzy Osbourne wrote a song about Super Monkey Ball?
Aye. Dum. Jordan, out of interest, what did the Clash do? See when the Clash use a Windows PC, and they often find that when they're trying to click icons at the bottom of the screen, they keep moving the start menu around by mistake. What did the Clash decide to do?
I don't know.
They lock the taskbar. There we go.
Oh.
Sorry, but yeah, it's a good game.
Can we expect Congo Bongo to make an appearance?
Listen, one can dream. I would like to see Toe Jam and Errol one month and one the other month. Echo the Dolphin in a wee fish tank with wheels.
We've had enough Echo the Dolphin on this website. I think if anyone's not on Patreon and wants to watch about 4 hours of somebody wanking over Echo the Dolphin, check out Is Edible in the 90s from a couple of months ago.
You show me another video game character who can use geolocation as well, and you can. I'll happily step down. But
Ellie from The Last of Us. A lot of people don't know that. They don't get to the end of Last of Us 2 where she becomes a dolphin. It's pretty mental.
Oh no, you did it. But no, I'm worried that by the time it gets to the end of these DLC characters, nobody gives a fuck anymore, because it's a great game, but there's not a lot of. There's a lot of grinding in it, and it's rare that I would ask for live service elements in a game, but it feels like it's missing some kind of daily or weekly missions or something just to vary it up a bit, like, oh, you need to race as this guy or with this gadget or whatever, just to keep it going, because otherwise it looks like there's a lot of grinding multiplayer over and over again to unlock everything. And yeah, I'm not sure. Long term, I'm not sure how it'll go, but in terms of if you're just looking for a carton game, it's fantastic.
Is Ulala in it?
Not yet. I wouldn't mind.
Come on, surely. I mean, Ulala is from Space Channel 5, if those aren't aware. Like, obviously very niche, but iconic, and feels like you could do a lot with like an Ulala Space Channel 5 track or whatever.
I'd like them to go niche with them, because your man from Shinobi is obviously going to be one of them, because
Jonathan
Nobi is going to be in it, because that Shinobi game just came out, so obviously they were planning that. I want them to go weird like they did with the Steam version of Sonic Racing Transform, because they put Football Manager in that one.
That's good.
That's it's literally just a guy in a tracksuit and his car transforms into a big ball. Like, I want stuff like that. But yeah, I wouldn't mind a wee Ulala. Your boy from Jet Set Radio, BD Joe from Crazy Taxi makes sense. He surely comes with
Mizuguchi in a res car.
Exactly. But yeah, but only one is you might not get Rio from Shenmue like you did in the last one, because I don't know if Sega must still own Shenmue.
I would think so. Maybe
not.
But I mean, Yu Suzuki, I mean, what's he up to? They'll probably get it off him for about 50 pence. So here's the question: is Leo Cole and Emma Craig from Balan Wonderworld going to be part of this game, or do you think that?
Listen, one would hope it's going straight in the trash if they don't turn up.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, I'm the type of nerd who'll get upset if the really niche ones are in it, and I like give me Gilius Thunderhead from Golden Axe, or give me Axel from Streets of Rage, or indeed give me the Chuck D Head from Decap Attack. If you don't give me any of that, then your game's shite, mate.
Do you get the sense that this is the last one for a while, and they're just going to keep pumping out stuff for this one, or do they do a new one in 3 years?
I kind of hope they do, but it looks like because they're talking about season pass, and obviously your 6 DLC are coming to that. You get Minecraft, SpongeBob, Avatar, whatever it is, Turtles.
What, the Blue Cunts or the anime?
No, the anime.
Oh, right, okay.
Turtles, Pac-Man, and now it's just been revealed accidentally Mega Man, because people got the physical box this morning.
Oh, Mega Man, like, that's cool.
People got the physical box, and inside the physical box there's a wee flyer that lists Mega Man. And you're like, whoops. So that'll be announced this week.
Well, if they're doing Capcom stuff, then surely that blows the bloody doors off. They could just do whatever they want. Like,
but it seems like they're not calling it season 1. And that worries me, that once that season's done, they're just done with it. And they'll just be doing their free Sega characters for the 6 months after that. I'd like to see them keep going and going and going and make it bigger and bigger and bigger, because there's a really solid game there that they could build on and keep building on. But
Ryu and Ken sell their arse for anything. They'll definitely be in it. And that's an easy one. You can just sell them as like one. It'd be good if they're actually fighting while they're in the cart, and the cart is just drives around. Or the cart, this is what you do. The cart they're in is the car that you fuck up in Street Fighter 2 bonus stage. There you go. That's
ideal.
That's a free.
But there's so much. The whole CrossWorlds gimmick gives it infinite potential to do whatever they want with it. I mean, like the pre-order bonus is the Werehog from Sonic thingy, and also the deluxe edition has 3 of the pricks from Sonic Prime. You know, that kind of Netflix.
Oh, I never miss an episode.
Which always confused me. I don't know why you would put a series on Netflix and then call it Prime, because then I keep going on Amazon Prime to watch it and it's not on it, as if I watch it. But so there's 3 characters from that are in it. So I would surely you add the Sonic movie characters. If you're talking like different dimensions and all this kind of shit, you can bring in the Sonic movie version of Sonic, and do little crappy polygonal versions of Sonic. Bring in...
Is Sonic in the Black Knight there?
Sadly not. It's Talking Sword. Caliber is nowhere to be found. Sadly,
Tommy Talarico's own Sonic and the Black Knight. Do you know he was the first American to work on the Sonic the Hedgehog franchise? His mother's very proud. Do
you know he won a backgammon championship recently?
Is this a setup for a joke, or is this legit?
I promise you it's genuine. Since he stepped away from the whole Amico thing and handed
stepped away from professionally lying about world records.
Apparently his father passed away, and his dad was a massive backgammon fan, so he dedicated himself to learning backgammon. I know this sounds like a setup for a really bad pun, but it's 100% genuine. And he's like 2nd or 3rd in like some sort of world backgammon championship now, because he learned how to play backgammon. So fair play to him. I look forward to Backgammon being released on the television Amico.
Any day now. You still got your pre-order? Is it still on its way? Or?
Still got my physical games upstairs. I've still got 6 Amico games sitting there.
Are they in the plastic, or have you opened them?
Opened one.
Oh, okay.
They come with a wee coin. A wee collector's coin.
That'll be worth literally pennies one day.
Can't wait.
That's good news about Sonic. I'm very happy for you. What's the multiplayer situation? Is this the kind of thing that if we all get it, we can? Is it better than the Mario Kart multiplayer situation?
It's hard to tell just now, because obviously during the review stage for some of these things, it's hard to get a game going. So I spent like a good 45 minutes the other night trying to get a race, and it wasn't finding anyone. So I can't tell. They did do an open kind of beta thing like a week or 2 ago, and it looks pretty bare bones. I think you can do your own custom match, which is where you'll be able to get other people in for it, or it's just like a ranked match, and it looks like you just kind of go up ranks and unlock stuff as you hit a different division. But that's really it, I think. Again, I hope that changes. I hope they put more stuff in it over time, and that's what keeps people coming back. But for now, it seems pretty rudimentary, my dear Watson.
Fair enough. Next up, After 6 years since they announced it, all the excitement in the world, the new Skate's out and it's pish. I am brutally disappointed. So Skate, not Skate 4, is a reboot of the beloved skateboarding franchise from EA and Full Circle, who are made up from a lot of the old Black Box team who made the first 3 games. And we've talked about this game a lot on this podcast because they kept showing bits of it and saying, oh, it's in pre-alpha and we're still working on it. They should have worked on it a bit more. Here's I've got a laundry list of problems, Chris. First of all, and this isn't even stuff like, people really hate the art style. I don't really care about how the characters look. They look, and I said this in my write-up that's on the site, they look like one of the recent Need for Speed games where the characters are like stylized, but they're semi-realistic. Yeah. The problem is, the world, first problem, the world you're skating around, completely sterile. It looks like it was done in like 5 minutes in Unreal Engine 5. There's no grime, there's no personality, there's no tone, there's no NPCs, there's no police, there's no security guards. This isn't a real city. There is no life here. Everywhere is just closed buildings, and the only other people you see are other real players, all wearing the same clothes. So it's all just it's like Attack of the Clones. The world has some great skateboarding spots. Like it's one of these things where it's a city, quote unquote, but it's essentially a load of connected skate parks for you to do your tricks and all that kind of stuff. But the world itself has no character. There is no single player portion, really. When you start up the game, you'll get missions from like a disembodied voice that reminds me of Forza. You know, when you start Forza Horizon, it goes, "Hey Jordan, why don't you go over here to the Horizon Festival? It's all kicking off," and you drive over there and nothing's happening. It cuts to your guy going, "Woo-hoo-hoo," and you like race against a train or whatever. So you do that.
I guess just on a tangent, my wife slags me for that every single time. When she's on the computer or whatever, and I start playing Forza Horizon, and it goes, "Hi, Chris," and she goes, "Ooh," I'm like, I don't have any control over this. She seems to think I'm setting up to have some dolly bird chatting me up while I'm playing the game. I'm like, I've got no control over this.
Skate could be doing with a dolly bird that liven the atmosphere up a wee bit. So the disembodied heads give you instructions, and then it'll be like, oh, go over to this part of the map because this character wants to teach you about recording clips. And I'm like, okay, am I going to finally meet an NPC? Because none of these people that are talking to you have bodies. It's all just disembodied heads. And nope, no one there. You're just being watched from somewhere. Someone's watching you and shouting in your ear. So it goes through all the normal stuff. The skating's really good. Like, they still have the flick it system where all your moves are controlled by the right analog stick, and that is still fun to do. I could still do all the tricks that I can do in Skate 2 and 3 with no problem. Like, it translates perfectly. However, it's centered around all this stuff that doesn't really get why Skate was so good. There's a weird focus on like climbing massive skyscrapers and jumping off of them and setting up all this weird shit. The problem is, Skate 3 became viral because noted dickhead PewDiePie made videos about it, and his videos were focused on that game's weird physics. So if you in Skate, you could stack up items, and if you did it in such a way, the game would freak out and send your character flying away. Funny, good premise for a YouTube video, all that kind of stuff. That led people to realize that there were certain moves you could do in Skate 3 that would give you like a ridiculous speed boost, and it became a bit of a TikTok viral game where people were trying to get over certain gaps that should never have been achievable, because the Skate series is supposed to be grounded, it's supposed to be realistic. However, the team have seemed to think, oh, that's what people liked about the games, so we need to like triple down on the virality. We need to make a game that is really easy to get funny clips out of, which has backfired because all social media this week has been people just forward rolling and flying around the world and be like, any skating in your Skate game? So it's like a weird misjudgment of what people loved about the original games, because people who wanted this series to come back wanted Skate 4. They wanted like a single player portion, like a normal city with people in it, and like they wanted professional skaters to give you your missions, and you wanted authentic brands. The authentic brands are in it, but you have to pay money for them because this is a free to play game. So if you want a Thrasher hoodie or Vans shoes, stuff that would be freely unlocked in the previous game using like in-game cash, it's all real money now. So it's really the best, most appropriate metaphor for being like a punk skater in your 40s, that it's completely sold out and like become a corporate money printing machine. And people that are really into skate have not are not happy with it. There's like a laundry list of things that are completely missing. That some stuff they've said they are adding. This is technically still in early access, even though they're selling like a £60 version of it.
Don't start me. I'm glad Andy's not on this week, because we were having a debate about this earlier this week on the Slack. The early access thing is ripping my knitting. I'm so bored. Do you know something like 2,500 roughly games went on Steam last year in early access, and it's like, especially for something like Skate, which has been in development, like you say, for like something like 6 years,
and people have been playing it for like a year at this point.
It's been nearly a year they've been playing it in kind of closed play test things where they've been given their feedback the entire time, and they've been working on the feedback. Oh, it's coming. Now it's here. You are charging for season 1, which is starting. Season 1 is starting. You're charging money for it. Your game is out. It's not early access. This is it. This is the game that's out.
Yeah.
It's a live service game. The whole point of a live service game is that it evolves over time. You start season 1, people say, oh, I like this, I don't like that so much. Oh, season 2, we heard you, we've changed this now, we've changed that. Like FIFA, the EAFC launches, it doesn't call itself early access. Yet by the end of a year of EAFC, it plays and has different features to how it was at launch. That's just how live service games work. You respond to player feedback and then sculpt the game accordingly. That's not early access. That's just a live service game.
Yeah.
I worry that some developers are using early access as like a shield, where anytime a game's shite, they can point to it and say, hey, it's not ready yet. It's not ready yet. I'm like, well, what have I paid for?
Look at Supergiant, for example. Hades is the perfect way of doing it. They released it in early access. You have like 2 of the bosses, and then it's like, well, come back in like 2 months and we'll have a third one. They don't do the nickel and dime stuff. At the point where you can pay for like 80 quid's worth of currency, that doesn't fly with me anymore.
No. I mean, there's things where you can just about allow it, like something like when Disney Dreamlight Valley came out and was going to be free to play, or when Disney Speedstorm came out and was going to be free to play. They launched it and said, we're not going free to play yet, but you can get into the game if you buy a pack which has certain stuff in it, like a founder's pack, they called it. And that would get you stuff in that you can start playing. And then the game will eventually become free to play, and that's when everyone else can jump in. And you go, okay, that's kind of paid early access to an extent. But the fact they're taking money means that they were still updating the game, and they were still doing season 1, season 2, season 3 and all that. You get a situation like Multiverses where the game was in quote unquote early access for like nearly a year, and then or maybe not as much as that, but certainly a lot of months to the extent they got 2 or 3 seasons into it, and it lost its players. Everyone lost interest in it because of all the microtransactions, and then suddenly Warner Brothers went, oh well, that's the end of early access, we'll be back in a year with season 1. They're like, no, we've just paid for all this shit. Your game was out. You don't like it. So it annoys me that games like Skate are claiming to be early access when they're charging for season 1. It's like, no, it's out. So stop using that as a shield. Like, you've had a year, you've had 6 years making it, you've had a year of people playtesting it. It's ready. Like, if it's not ready, you should have still been people. It should still be in playtests. It shouldn't be out in early access with paid content.
Yeah, it's really disappointing. I'd prepared myself for this. People may have expected me to be more animated about this, but the fact is, people have been leaking gameplay of this on TikTok for a year at this point, and as soon as I saw what it was like, I was like, oh no, this is not what I want. This is not what I planned. Frankly, as soon as they said it was going to be free to play and not like a 70 quid game, I was like, well, they've made their decision. I don't think I'm ever getting the Skate 4 that I want. And look, I understand that they're probably like making a Skate 4 that the hardcores won't make the money back that a Skate live service will make. And there's a way that they could, like, I'm still going to play it and still going to check in and see what they've done, because skating around the world is fun. It needs NPCs, and even if they don't do anything, I just want people walking about the city. Like, I'm skating around an empty city. It's like creepy practically. Like, it's so weird. Also, like there was a whole thing pre-release and they sent us a box of it that was like, oh, there's this M Corp, they're like the shadowy organization that's trying to stop people skating. There's like an M Corp building in it, but that stuff doesn't really manifest outside of that. Like there should be cops, like in the original games there was cops that would like push you off your board if you got too close to them, and there were certain areas that had like the little metal kind of anti-skate things on them, and there was a bit of like lore to the world. It's just this feels like
that's weird because they lent heavily on that when they were promoting it. Like, oh, here's a big bad.
They got Tim Robinson in to do it. Like,
yeah, so presumably they'll add that later when it comes out to early access. But that's like it would appear to be a rather humorous metaphor. Would be like buying a Mario game and there's no Goombas in it.
It feels like this feels like the multiplayer portion of a single player game that doesn't exist. So hugely disappointing. I'll keep up with it as it goes along. I'll play some more of it because I still enjoying the part where it's skate and like it still feels fun to play. But I would say if you're interested, just download it. Don't get any of the founders packs. Just download the free version, skate it out and see how you feel. But yeah, more on that in the future. I
applaud them. I applaud them for. We've said this on Slack yesterday. I applaud them for having the courage to have a game with a logo that could so easily be photoshopped to say shite.
Me too.
Like I appreciate them not trying to disguise that. Fair play.
So elephant in the room. VGC's Game of the Year is released today. EAFC 26. We know how our community feels about our obsession with EAFC. People are deeply uninterested, but there are some people that absolutely love it. So, just like last year, at some point this weekend or on Monday, we will release our EAFC 26 review special with me and Chris going through all the nitty and the gritty. You played any of it yet? You had you fired it up? Oh yeah, of course, because you got a wonderful surprise last night.
I couldn't believe it. Like my annual tradition for when a new EA or indeed Konami football game comes out is straight into Celtic, play roughly 15 seconds, pause it, fire it into replay mode, and look at those faces to see if the faces have been updated. No, but the important thing is, since I'm scanning around, I'm looking at it and they're doing the usual pre-match thing and all that. I'm like, there is Hoopy the Huddle Hound, Celtic's glorious mascot, dancing around like a dick at pitch side. I'm like, wait a minute, there's mascots in the game now. And straight into the replay again, the new they love the kind of manual camera thing they've got now where you can properly like zoom right into the crowd. And there's Hoopy in all his glory. Like the detail like is impressive for a mascot. Like right down to the kind of his legs are all bunched up like crap fabric. I'm like, this is amazing. So the fact that Hoopy's in it makes it like game of the generation.
5 stars at least.
Because for years, it's like it's a classic Wayne Gretzky line of always hit the puck to where the player's going to be, not where the player is. Because for years I've been campaigning to have Celtic Park in FIFA, and I never dreamed of having Hoopy in there. Yeah. And I didn't think beyond. I didn't think beyond the initial problem. I didn't think beyond that, and EA was one step ahead of me this year. So, yeah, I wasn't even dreaming of having Hoopy in there. So I'm delighted at that.
Next up, we need the Green Brigade in that corner. We need the massive tifos. We need the Palestine flags. I'm sure EA would love that.
We need Billy Connolly Rod Stewart, maybe probably more suitable. Rod Stewart to turn up for every 45th game you play. Rod Stewart's in the crowd.
I'm pretty sure Rod Stewart's a dirty Tory, but alas, he's a good Celtic man, so he gets away with it. 2 questions before we go. Mr. Dave asks, I'm sure this has been asked before, but with something like Nintendo Direct or a PlayStation State of Play, how much do you know going in? The Xbox behind the scenes one was unique as it was for Summer Game Fest. But with the other two, are you generally given the heads up? To dispel any, I don't know if this is what you were suggesting, but we are not told by companies what's going to happen by and large. We find it out from our own sources and put it together. Like that's how we have had basically complete lists of just about everything for years and years at this point. Like there's always going to be surprises, Virtual Boys, etc. But it doesn't take a genius to work out what stuff is easy to get hold of and what stuff stays very tightly guarded. So yeah, it's often a case of in the days leading up, we'll all just kind of collate and be like, oh, and then eventually we have a list. And it's one of those things where first trailer starts, okay, that's on the list. As soon as the second trailer starts, if that's also on the list, we're like, okay, we've got it. Like, it's very rare that it deviates from that.
Mm-hmm. It's interesting because sometimes you can do your own detective work to figure these things out. So even when there are occasions where sources will confirm to us when there's a direct coming or when there's something like that coming, usually the general rule of thumb is that if we report that someone has claimed a Nintendo Direct is coming, we've already done our due diligence to know that our sources have said the same thing. We're not going to just trust what anyone says. Like, if we're reporting on it, then we've heard that as well. But there are times when you can kind of figure it out, because if you suddenly get like 3 or 4 news stories in from PRs that are all embargoed for exactly the same time, you're like, well, something's coming that's going to cause them to kind of be announced at roughly the same time. So therefore, that is some sort of presentation coming. So I think that's how some people kind of predict these things. But yeah, like you say, we it's not like we get given. Nintendo and Sony and Microsoft don't give us like the running order and say fill your boots. There are some shows that aren't the big ones that we'll sometimes be allowed to see in advance so we can plan coverage. Like Day of the Devs are really good for that. The Day of the Devs show that launches after Summer Game Fest and stuff like that, they're usually really good at letting us under embargo see the show so we can plan coverage, because they know that as soon as a Summer Game Fest or something is over, everyone's working on covering that. Whereas I can get my coverage prep for kind of other ones ahead of it. That's really useful. But for the big one, the big Nintendo, Sony, Nintendo, Microsoft ones, you get bits and pieces. We don't get the full running order, but we'll find out about certain games here and there.
Especially like you may have noticed that if there's an event that a lot of people are invited to that's embargoed, it'll instantly get reported, because people will tell people, so they would never intentionally give us full shows or something like that, and they tried to crack down on it, but the problem is there's just so many people working on this stuff. There's so many moving parts. It's very rare that something comes out of the total blue. Like, it's very things that are more difficult to nail down. Say a price of a console is being announced, stuff like that is coming down to the wire, so it's very hard to report on stuff like that. You'll sometimes notice that they very rarely film someone saying, and this is going to be £999 million, so they can do that last thing they put in. They can record 3 different versions, because I know for a fact that at E3 2013, PlayStation were waiting for Microsoft to announce their price before they decided what they were going to go with for the PS4. And it can literally come down to stuff like that. So yeah, that's a little bit of inside baseball there. Speaking of more inside baseball, Vivo Avida asks, the Silk Song review, how did it come about? Given it was done by a freelancer, were you approached with it by the journalist, or did you commission it? And did you expect to go as viral as it did? Are you happy when a piece of work goes viral in such a way? Well, to answer this in reverse order, yes, I expected it to go viral. And frankly, it's weird that I've had a lot of people message me being like, oh, have you seen the reaction? I'm like, well, I'm not on X anymore at all. And the only reaction I saw was on Blue Sky, which is where normal people are. So it seemed pretty reasonable over there. And I don't take anything anyone says on X with even the faintest bit of respect. So I don't really...
When the review was coming in, I was like, I know exactly how this is going to go on X and on Blue Sky. How Blue Sky people are going to come out and say, actually, that's some good points there. Either saying, that's right, finally somebody said that, or people saying, I don't necessarily agree, but the points that are being made in there are well-reasoned points, so each to their own. And then obviously X was just like the death threats and everything. So it's just what you get from both those pieces of social medium. But yeah, like you say, I don't necessarily like when these things go viral, especially for the sake of the reviewer, because a lot of the shit obviously gets fired at us, but a hell of a lot gets fired at the reviewer as well. And that's just especially.
They should try reviewing a fucking Gran Turismo game. Let me tell you, the car shaggers are some of the absolute most mentalist people you've ever seen.
The one thing Silk Song is missing is a cafe scene.
I agree.
Where someone gives you like a really lengthy history of Silk.
Yeah. set to John Philip Sousa marches.
In terms of how the review came about, obviously the review code wasn't given to publications ahead of release, so it's one of those ones where we're like, do we cover it, do we not? People obviously know we're a pretty small team. There's just kind of 3 main editorial staff here, so and this is the kind of time of the year where lots of big games come out, so we had a lot on. So we don't often like do like freelance reviews, but for a game like this, we couldn't not cover it. But we also, it was tricky to kind of justify committing a lot of time to playing this when we had other kind of plates spinning. So it's made sense to reach out to somebody that we trusted, because you did previous dealings with
Ash is a Overload alumnus, so she's she had the glory and the renown, much like Leaping Lanny Poffo, of being a veteran of the world's greatest NXT for games journalists. So yeah, I knew Ash could do it. I knew she'd turn in a really thoughtful, interesting piece, and as usual, I was proved completely correct. So yes, it's very, very rare. There is, like, obviously love Ash's review. I'm not anti-freelance reviews. I just like that VGC is like reflective of the 3 of us, you know. It's like you come to VGC and you get a review from the 3 of us kind of thing, but this is special circumstances, and Ash knew the voice immediately, so it didn't seem out of place. Yeah,
agreed. I'm glad I think she did a great job. I think the review is fantastic. It's like it's one of those ones where like you get it and it's like very little needs to be done to this. Like, I mean, because you obviously edit everything that comes in, and you're like, this is really.
I thought it was weird of you to take a star off of it, but apart from that, I thought it was.
I mean, hey, listen, that's my rule. Yeah. Like as my new rule.
Not Nintendo. Star off.
as my new rule as deputy editor, my obviously my main rule is that every review that passes through me loses a star in transit. So that's just how I roll. Tight ship.
That's why shite tip. That's why I try and submit 6-star reviews when I'm really hot on the heels of something. Thank you very much for listening and watching this episode of VGC, the Video Game Podcast. If you'd like to support us more, you can do so at patreon.com/Video Games Chronicle. As we said, we'll have another episode Sunday, Monday time, all about EAFC. That's going to be pretty hardcore. Might do something else for EAFC for Patreon, but we'll see how the weekend faces us. Next week, it will be me and Chris again, because Andy's away too. Oh, Japan! Knock that off your bingo card. So we'll see you then. Much planned for this weekend, Chris?
Yeah, sadly. You absolutely cannot moan about these things because it's what everyone would love to do. But you know, sometimes when you've got a big game to review and you're just shattered and you're like, I could really do with a rest, but there's embargoes to hit. So I'm trying my best to play some FC 26 over the weekend, but I do have a more pressing embargoed game to review first. So I'll kind of juggle the 2 of them, I think.
Tomorrow,
more about that next week.
Tomorrow I'm going to see Here and Now, the Steps musical at the Kings in Glasgow. So I'm very much looking forward to that.
Are you though?
Yeah, I love musicals.
Are you a big Steps fan?
Oh, I love Steps. Yeah. The first gig I ever went to was Steps when I was like 5. So
the first gig I ever went to was Spice Girls. So
that's a pretty good one.
Fair enough.
SEC. I'm not sure what review I would give it. Out of 10, maybe like 5, 6, 7, 8. We will see you next week for another episode of the podcast. I'm turning Chris a deeper shade of blue. Say goodbye, Chris.
Goodbye, Chris.
We'll see you next time. It's one for sorrow.
That's the only other one. That's literally the only other song.
Too bad.
Some people say I look like my dad.
That's bewitched. That's
I know it is.
Stupid cow. VGC is supported by Patreon. Check out patreon.com/Video Games Chronicle for more podcasts, ad-free browsing, and extra content. Thank you for your support.